Hey everyone, it's Kara Crossway Brindle. Welcome back to the channel. A heartfelt, I'm so excited Barbara's with us. She's been in my network for years, but I don't know why I haven't had you on the channel before now. So very excited that you're here. Oh my gosh,
Mhm.
we have so much to talk about. First, for people who don't know who you are, Barbara, you want to introduce yourself, share a little more about yourself.
Absolutely. And thank you. I know we've been circling orbits like this, and it is so exciting to be here. And I will take a breath and let everybody know that my name is Barbara Sheehan-Zeidler, sometimes known as Barbara with the two last names, I'm told. I'm based over here in Littleton, Colorado. I'm a licensed professional counselor since 2008 and Andrea consultant, IFS level 2, somatic IFS certified, and pursuing so many wonderful, wonderful things. In addition to all that, I'm a sand player, which it's, I think, what called you to have you call me. Yeah.
So many things about you have called me to being in this video, if I'm being honest. But yeah, like, all
Aw.
right, community, like, did you just not see how much of a powerhouse Barbara is with everything she just rattled off so casually of like all these things that I do? But Barbara,
Mhm.
you're becoming more known in our community, which is also why I wanted to put this video together because you are about to do some speaking in international areas. You're about to like bring this intersection between EMDR and sand trade out for everyone to understand. So tell
Yeah.
us, like, I just want to like have you like celebrate all the things you're about to do. Tell us where you're going to be speaking here soon.
Whoa. So I am speaking at the Colorado Counseling Association where you were the keynote. And this will be my second time over at CCA. And it just feels like bookends, right? I started when I was a baby clinician, and now we're here. I'm over here as a crone. I'm like one of the elderly clinicians because I'm definitely crone. And I'm so excited to be talking about that. I am also speaking in Costa Rica in February. Super excited about that. So my first international speaking. And then I speak
Mhm.
at local agencies. And what I do is bespoke or very personalized programs for them. And any combination of the topics I'm passionate about, which is polyvagal theory, therapeutic presence,
Mm.
yeah, I really like that one, as well as EMDR, IFS, and sandtray. So a variety of topics that I've really studied deeply about and now really want to bring forward to introduce others to and get them excited about it because I've seen it transform lives.
Oh my gosh. Yes. And so offline, Barbara and I already concluded that we're going to have me do a sand tray experience because I haven't done this yet in my career. So this is part one video. There will be a part two where we talk about the magic that actually happens. So stay tuned,
Mhm,
viewers, for that. But
mhm.
tell people who don't understand sand tray what it's about or how it's been utilized in your practice so
Yeah.
far.
Yeah, I was introduced to Santry in 2008, oh, 2007 when I was in grad school. So thank you, professors and techniques too. And I fell deeply in love with the somatic experience that the tray brought me. And now I only
Mm.
work with adults. So when you and I were speaking earlier, I was like, I only work with adults and the child inside. So I bring sand to my work with the clients that I work with because so many times there are words that cannot be spoken,
Mm.
dare not be spoken, or there's so much affect and disorganization, there aren't any words. So, through the three-dimensional experience of sand, we find that we can go from the implicit energy to the explicit, and from the explicit to the experience. And then in that experience, we create a different or new narrative. So that was a lot.
Beautiful.
That was a lot that I just said. But
Yeah.
essentially, we're inviting the just under consciousness to safely emerge and to be in the place of being witnessed and in that place of healing and integration. It's a very
Mm.
brain-based thing too. So I love the brain. Yeah.
I can see why you're someone who's a fan of polyvagal and IFS. Of like, I can see there's intersections in my mind as you describe this of how all of these come together so beautifully.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can't wait to see it in action. I'm already going to tell our viewers, like, hey, just stay tuned for part two of this video.
I will
But
pull up my
yeah,
calendar.
phenomenal. Bringing the subconscious conscious and like that deeper
Yeah.
processing is, I think, what we're all craving as clinicians.
Yeah.
So, are there certain populations this works best for? I know you said adults are who you
Yeah.
serve, but anything you want our audience of therapists to know about
Yeah.
sand tray?
So it works with all ages across the lifespan. So when I'm working with someone who's 65 and older, oftentimes their trays are about that life review where
Mm,
they get to experience the fragility of life, the that last possible stage of life, the regrets of life. So it's a beautiful review process. But again, self-titrating too. They go into the sand and then they pull out when they're ready. So
mm,
it's this, like in EMDR therapy, I'm the one who says stop, go, stop, go. But with sand, the psyche says stop, go, stop, go.
wow.
So 65 and older, they're usually doing life reviews in the sand. And then from, that 30-ish to 60-ish, they're exploring dilemmas. They're exploring everything that we would bring to talk therapy, but through the sand. There
Mm,
are no rule outs. So far, I have not found anybody that has not been able to experience the sand. Now, sometimes the client doesn't want to do it because it's too overwhelming and they're not ready
mm,
for it. That's fine. But even sand can be used just by drawing your fingers through it or creating something. It's whatever the client feels drawn to do. It's an invitation, never ever forced. So it's very, very
yes.
powerful. Specific trauma, developmental trauma are utilized as well. Just anything, Khara, anything at all I've seen explored in the sand.
Yeah, I was saying like world of possibilities is what I'm hearing. Like all the things are possible,
I love that
which
world
I
of
love that.
possibilities in the sand. I love that indeed. And then the way the tray works is it's by invitation. And we have a whole bunch of miniatures. I know it here. I have one right here. I have a couple here. So like this is called a miniature.
Mhm.
And I have too many to count of these. And then the person will just take what they feel drawn to, either like, oh gosh, I love it, or gosh, I'm abhorred by it, and they create something in the sand where
Mhm.
my purpose is to hold the space and allow the emergence to feel safe to come out. And then there are a few
Yes.
questions maybe that should be asked along the way.
Yeah. And so
Yeah,
I can see there's also this connection to that like self of therapist, presence of therapist, of like how they show up and hold that safety, like that
that's
nonverbal, I'm here, I'm with you,
yeah.
as they're in the sand tray doing their thing and we're not directing, right? Did I get that right?
Yes, yes, and like so, yes, it's paramount. Like the self of the therapist is the first thing, whether you're doing sand or anything else.
Mhm.
So, because of neuroception, how do you perceive me under your consciousness? How do I perceive you? Neuroception, a phrase coined by Stephen Porges. So if I'm showing up dysregulated, it will impact the energy between me and the client. So
Right.
the self of the therapist is really paramount as we do that. And then sometimes it is directive. So sometimes a client might want to have a prompt that says, wow, that's a really big dilemma you're in. Do you want to experience that in the sand? So it's a
Mm-hmm.
prompt, but that's about it. It's a really big umbrella. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Totally, because I'm hearing consent and the client gets to say of like yes or no, thank you, which I think is
Yeah.
really important to that kind of
Yeah.
work.
Yeah.
So we're going to obviously come back to what this looks like as I get to experience it myself as a clinician who hasn't played in sand before. And I'm like, game on,
Yeah.
let's do that. And of
Yeah.
course, I want folks to see you at CCA as well as in Costa Rica if they're already planning to attend that conference.
Uh-huh.
But where can people find you in the meantime if they have questions or they want to experience this or have more they want to
Absolutely.
ask you? What's the best way to reach you?
Absolutely. So my business is creative and caring counseling. It's a big thing. And you could find me at creativeandcaringcounseling.com or barbaracounsels.com. I got both of them because it's easier. You can find me on my website, on Facebook, on LinkedIn, as well as I think I'm Instagramming. Sometimes I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm trying to figure it out. Again, croning over here, trying to figure it out. So you can find me in all those different ways. And again, I'm based in Littleton, Colorado. I'm happy to offer consultations as well as sometimes people come in and do intensives, which is a
Mm,
phenomenal way to work through a variety of stories in a safe and protected space through the sand and the therapeutic relationship.
Beautiful. Well, I will make sure to put all of your contact info below the video so folks can find you really easily.
Yeah.
And I just know that, as I go into this process with you, I'm just so grateful our paths have continued to cross over the years. I just think of trainings we've both been in and how we've supported each other online. I'm
Me
just
too.
so grateful that you're willing to share your wisdom with this group of therapists here on the channel. So thank you, Barbara, so much for being here.
Kara, thank you. I feel really, really privileged. And let's pull out our calendars and get a date. Okay. I'm excited.
Yeah,
All
sure.
right.
Stay tuned for that video. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.
Thanks, everybody.